Now my husband and I, we live in 2 separate places. Now is this for everybody? Hell no, I tell any woman you think you can get my man. Go on and try. And if you do get him, you better keep. Applause him. I watch you all the time and I see that. Since the last time you were here, it's a lot been going on. You obviously released the album. You rocked and teamed up. Yes, I heard you've been even out there talking about Marriage K on What's That About. Oh, I just happened to notice that I was asked about marriage, yes, and I just answered honestly. I said, you know what? You told me a quote that your mother said, a man knows what he wants. And I was saying my true feelings about, listen, Jennifer, is the person, if I should be married, it will be to Jennifer Kate Hudson. I was just being honest. Now wait. Yes. Okay, where do you stand on that? Where are you on me? Where are you in, what that's the question? My mother was right. I think if she had met you, she said, I don't know about the rest of them, but that come in is all right with me. That's what she would say. And I would agree. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think you are a deserving man. And, I support that idea. I think it's a beautiful idea. I will say that now. Now hold on in due time. If it ever gets to that place, when 2 people come, I'm listening to God more and more, and and exactly, and I feel like I know that, I know what purpose is. And I feel like this is purpose right here. And by the way, not to exclude my man, Pete Rock. Let me say this. Pete said Pete one time when we were interviewing, people's like, well, if that does happen, I need to DJ to wedding. DJ, don't leave me out. Please listen. And then you also have a song about your husband, Blake, right? That's my buddy. Right there. Oh my goodness. I'm curious to know how much have you guys learned from each other musically? Well, I've learned so much from him. He is literally so gifted when it comes to just hearing music. And I guess I don't know if it's just because he's like a jukebox of music. Like when I met him, we would do like country music. I didn't really listen to country ever, but I didn't even know that Blake Sean existed on the planet when I met him. But we do this thing. My brother and my family, we would play like just the very tip of a song, and like he would know the name, the year, that he's that guy. Yeah, he knows hits. And I think after being on The Voice for, 400 seasons or something, it's like, I think you get to know songs. So I always rely on him. We always play each other our music. And he hears in a different way. He hears different than I do in the studio. And, but I wrote this song to him. It's a song called Purple Irises, and he kept being like, don't put that out yet, like save that one. And I was like, this is getting fishy. Like, do you want to be on this song? Like, I didn't dare say it because everybody wants him on their songs, but I was like, I feel like getting this feeling that you might want. I'll rewrite it if you want to be Hest. I'll rewrite, make it a duet. And so I ended up rewriting it. He came and we did a duet out of it, and it's, oh my God, ooh. CH and y'all have a lot of great things going on. You have your 30-year wing anniversary. Congratulations. See you on that. Thank you. That is so beautiful. The pictures are so cute. You're putting on there, girl. They gotta be right for you. Look at that, But yeah, I fee you. Can't take a bad photo. We had so much, that was at somebody else's wedding actually that night. I was at a wedding, but anyways, long story short, we want to know what's something that he does that reminds you of why you fell in love. With him, the thing about Blake is that you'll never get through a day without laughing. You know what I mean? Which is, it doesn't even matter, what's going on. The guy has so much patience and so much kindness in his heart. It is it just makes you happier every single day. So, that's pretty much, laughter, we're chasing it, aren't we? We're all chasing. That's more than enough. You got any plans for the holidays? Have why? Traditions changed at all? No. Not really. You guys know my husband grew up in Hawaii. One of the reasons why I married him. My in-laws, I was like, okay, is this where Christmas is going to be? So because we're on the mainland, we do Thanksgiving with my family. So since the girls, we were little, we go to Hawaii, nice and with their, his family is there, and now it's just his sister, my niece, and a bunch of our friends have been going there for years and years and years, so we're going to do that. We're picking up the girls. Sasha has one more exam to get through, and then we're going to head to the island for a little sun, and that's the way to spend the Christmas. I like that. I know I tell you, That's why you got to pick your husband, right? Okay. You know? Okay, it's like he got a lot cuter when I found out he was from Hawaii. I was like, oh, okay, that is funny, okay? Who's the hardest to shop for? He is, oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, he's just a boy, you know? I mean, he just doesn't do much. He golfs and there's only so many golf balls you can get a dude, right? He's already got the clubs, you know, I can't get him another golf shirt. You know, he's really hard and he doesn't want anything. You know, he's one of these sort of just a nice letter, and he means it. He means it. So he's really hard to, you know, I'm trying to like get him clothes that he wouldn't buy, you know, because he's also cheap. So if it's a really nice jacket, I'm trying to like, don't look at the price, because he was like, why'd you spend this much on a jacket? And I was like, that's what a gift is. So he's hard to shop for. That is so funny, but we love that. You like can make a song up about anything. I'm a songwriter. I am. You can't look. I'm not a freestyler. Like, he's a real freestyle. Okay, yeah, I got a little inso though. So if I pull up a picture, can you make a song to it? I can try. Okay, all right, let's cross the try it out. Yes, we are all right. We're walking. So John, all right, you're going to see a photo. I'm going to see a photo, and then, you know, do what you do. You're going to I'm going to try my best, and I'm really doing this. Impromptu, y'all. This is not fake. This is real. We get to see her, the master at work, okay? Let's see the first photo. This is going to be fun, all right. Oh, he said, oh, what you got, Christy? Ooh, oh, why are you kissing a fishy Chrissy? Music. Why are you kissing this sound good childish? Yes, don't you have a man at applause home? He's sitting. All alone? Oh, don't you have a man at home you like that, huh? Leave that fish alone. Only John could do that, okay? Everyone is so fascinated because you spoke on your long-distance relationship. How do you feel about, you know, let people have to, that is my husband. Senator Vincent Hughes. Come on, husband, yes. Now my husband and I, we live in 2 separate places now. Is this for everybody? Hell no, but for us. It works. If you're a young couple, you're trying to start a family and everything, this isn't for you. We have been married. We have been divorced. We are married to each other again. Best decision in my life. Oh, this man. But I have my life. He has his life. I've got my career. Yes, he has his career. He can't leave Philadelphia and come. Start here? So I'm like, baby, hold down Philly. I'll hold down law doing AB, but elementary doing super things. Y'all are on assignment. Thank you. I understand. Thank you. And we are getting ready to celebrate 20 years of a good thing. 20 years. 20? Thank you. 20 years. What is working? It is working for us. A lot of folks, they can't even stay married. 2 months shoot. We got 20 years together and we are loving each other. And it works for us now. If you got problems with trust, you got trust. Issue. This isn't for you, but he and I were on the same place. I tell any woman you think you can get my man, go on and try, and if you do get him, you better keep him. She said. What she said. Yes, do you guys have anything special planned for your anniversary? Okay, this is just in my mind. But you know, that whole run that Rocky made up those steps of the Philadelphia Art Museum, I want to be perfectly suited and booted with a train. Oh, and I want to run up those stairs like Rocky and meet my man at the top of the stairs, baby. Oh yeah, we can see it right now. I can see it now. I heard you met your husband and friends. Tell us the story. How did you guys meet? Ooh, well, it was the summer 2017, having the time of my life single, but also just so tired of the dating scene. Yeah, but I was praying on it. Let me tell you, when they say prayers are real, the prayer is real. Let me tell you, yes. I prayed, I made some sacrifices. I just spoke to God and I said, Lord, I'm going to just like give all my time to my daughter. I said, you be the man in our life and help me find, like when the time comes, I'm not forcing it. Allow me the opportunity to see it. And I mean, I wasn't in France dancing away at a restaurant, and this host came over and he tried to introduce us. And at first we just kept saying no. I said no, I didn't know what he looked like. Nothing, I just knew it was just another pop star, a French pop star. And finally, at one point, and I said, I'm having fun with my friends. And one point, I'm just like dancing on the tables. It was a restaurant where you dance on the tables. And he happened to pass by as I'm coming down, and I was like, wow. And then the host came over and put us together, and I was like, oh, hold on. Oh God, she just crystal blue eyes. And I never like more than anything, it was that. But, you know, it was when he left the table, I got his number. I was like, I'm come back, I'm getting his number. And I looked him up because I didn't know who he was. And we had the same birthday. Why the same birthday? It was our birthday that really brought us together, really. So it was meant to be. Then it was meant to be. Yeah, I wanted to find out a little more about myself, okay? Some of y'all me to go to France and dance on some tea. I'm telling my friends, I said, get out of here, girls. It's time to find, I really also said, I'm gonna like get out of the box. I realized I had a type. And when I finally stepped out of that type and said, I'm just like open to anything, race, color, any, let's try it. And so, yeah, you brought me this French. Now you got a whole husband, kids, I'm living in France. I love that for y'all. This is amazing. Come through. How is the wedding planning? Going, look, it's wife, future wife is so beautiful and I love them so much, her and the girls. Oh my God, how is the wedding planning going? All right, so here we go. I got a whole thing I think about weddings now because this will be both our second time around, okay, getting married. I truly feel like we put too much energy in the weddings. I feel like that energy should be in anniversaries. Like, I think how we going to celebrate something, we don't know how this is going to give you a reason to have something to celebrate for the anniversary. I think you get 5 years in and spend all that money y'all done save, but don't spend all the money you save. I'm just saying do it then, because most of the time people, I'm just saying, just from looking at these weddings in our day and age, now that causes most arguments because they go into Deb. That's true. It starts it off wrong with the DE. It's just too much. Wow, you're doing this just because you want to impress other people. So I've been trying to talk her into, getting eloped. And has it worked so far? Not really. Yeah, I'm like, where is she with this? She like, I mean, I hear you, brother. But she's listening because I said, baby, I just want to focus on the marriage. Yeah, you know what I mean? We can do the celebration anytime and we can, call it a celebration ceremony or whatever. But I just want to marry you. I just want to be with you, sweet. I'm not mad at it. That sounds wonderful. Okay, well, we got to ask the big question. How did you know she was the one? What was the thing why you had to do it like that? The thing we want to know. Because I grew up around some very strong men. And so I'm a man's man in a lot of ways. But I like the fact that I was able to be vulnerable with her and didn't feel like less of a man. Ooh, that is powerful. You guys are such a beautiful couple. You've been together for 20 years, almost. Yeah, like 18 and a half years. What's the secret to being together for 20 years? Try not to be tired of each other at the same time. Yes, yeah, that's actually a really good point. That's really your good. Every once in a while we get tired of each other, just not at the same. Is that why you leave the room whenever you feel like I'll go watch a little ESPN and then I'll come back, see when you know each other's way, then you could get out of each other's way. What you say, that make a difference. That's even better. When you know each other's way, you can get out of each other's way, girl. See, you don't need the secret. You got the secret. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and congrats on your podcast. Can you tell everyone what it's about? Thank you. It's called, she came up with this name, which was pretty AB, is called We Don't Always Agree Because We Don't Always Agree. And it's just about sort of like the story of Ryan and Sterling and sort of navigating life, love, marriage, parenthood, Hollywood, all the different things that come along with it. Diet culture, spirituality, just a little bit of everything that goes into our lives. And I think that's necessary for other couples to learn. You don't always have to agree. You don't always have to be the same to be happy and in love and be married for 20 years, I'm just saying. And we don't always agree. And so every episode of the podcast is based on like, where is it that we don't agree? And how did we find our way to each other? Through conversation, through education, whatever, for this particular topic, and how we got on the same page. I love that that's needed and necessary. Did you have something you want to add to that? I just like doing what Ryan does with her hands. Oh, are you guys that type of couple where you take up each other's manism? No, he's the type of person that likes to make fun. He just likes to, yeah, Okay. And you have 4 beautiful kids, and next year will mark your 30th year. Wedding anniversary. Yeah, that is amazing. Wow. So how was Rodney on your proposal? What was that like? Oh my gosh. Y'all, Rodney, Pete. Oh, look at him. Rodney Pete did the best proposal ever. He came to me, he showed up at the set of Hanging with Mr. Cooper. And if y'all remember this show, yes. He walked in there looking like, Denzel in a white suit, and he wasn't supposed to be there. He was in Dallas, Texas, playing for the Cowboys at that year, and he came in and surprised me. And it was a moment. It was a moment. Look at you. Oh my goodness. All that hair you had. I did have hair back then. I sure did. Look. I couldn't even drop my purse. I was just like clutching the purse, and he gave me that ring, baby. I was like, woo. Oh my, I'm W. And for you, it was such a beautiful moment. So you did that, honey, you did that. Teach a class on that. Now, Rodney, yes. Did Holly's family always like you? What was that like? You know what, as you mentioned, I was playing for the Cowboys at the time, and Holly's from Philly. Oh, right. And if you know anything about Philly and Dallas, it's just a rivalry that's like no other. And so they didn't like me very much. Yeah, they didn't like me very much until I gave them tickets. They love me. Switched up B. Wait. You know, Philly fans are so rough. One time I was in the stands and Rodney, he threw in a reception or something, and I heard somebody say, "You suck, Pete." And I turned around. It was my Aunt Jane. And JJ, did we give you these tickets? And you calling names. But that's Philly for you. But Rodney, the moment that was really amazing is because of my dad was such born and raised in Philly, such a diehard Eagles fan. And when, he's like, I like that guy, but he plays for the wrong team. And on the night of our wedding, as luck would have it, Rodney was traded to the Eagles. So we waited and we told him the news that night. So it was just, oh, he loved you then. That was good. That was good. What was you talking about? Dancing the night away. He was dancing the night away. Good. Oh my goodness. Okay, tell me about y'all first date. How did he win you over on your first date? Well, whose version? Do you want Jennifer? Because we got 2 different versions. I want to hear both. Let's see. Let's start with mine. Yes. So, yes. Okay. So first of all, I knew this guy and my friend Leela Rayshon. Beautiful actress, right? She got to give her props, got to give Leah props. Leah's like, I think this guy's good for you because I was pining over some other brother and whatever, right? I'm sitting at home with my 2-way page. That's how you know how long ago it was. And I'm just, yeah. And so Leela comes over and says, girl, put on your Daisy Dukes so you know what year it was, and let's go over to that guy Rodney. Pete's house, he's like, he's a guy that, I think y'all would be good together. I was like, I don't want no quarterback. No, all right, I'll go over there. So we went over there, we walked in and they were like, oh, here we go. They were like 5, 10 guys and like 40 girls. And I said, this brother, this went from 10 girls to 40 girls. It was many. And so I was like, so I said, Leah, they got anything to eat. So we went over to the barbecue and they was making a brisket, right? So Leah and I tore that brisket up like piranhas, right? All right, we good and left. And I got it home and first of all, when I went to Rid, I was like, he's only like 5 minutes away from me. That's interesting. So when I got home, I go back to my 2-way and whatever, waiting on this brother to hit me. There was nobody before you, of course. But anyway, I hear knock on the door and I go to the door and there was Rodney at the door. I said, well, don't. You have a party that you're having at your house. He said, well, when you left, the party was over. That sounded like a good vermi. I mean, you did the thing. So I was like, all right, that's going to get you 1 date. So he took me to a wine tasting party. I said, this guy's classy. I never know my brother a wine tasting party. I'd never been to anything like that. And that was so amazing. But that's the last time you ever took me to a wine tasting party 30 years later. That's what they call one and done well. You got the girl, that's for sure. You got a wedding coming up. I have a wedding coming up. This is a mere imminent. Oh, there. And there's my baby. I see him there. Okay, wow. Tony. Ooh, I love this for you. That's my boo. Tell me about your first date. You know what? The funny thing is, we didn't know it was a first date. I would go to New York for work, and every time I went, I would call and go, Tony, you want to go hang out? So we went to see a Broadway play. Fat Ham, Marcel Spears from the neighborhood, who's on the doing Broadway. And we were in the theater, and I'm like, oh, I want to put my head on his shoulder, but I can't. He's my friend. And he was like, later, he told me I wanted to hold her hand, but I can't. She's my friend. And so I had some money. You guys know what PUM is? It's when they give you money when you go in town. I know what. So I had like $300 on the room that I hadn't used. I said, why don't you come back to my room where order room service and just eat a whole bunch of stuff? So no, not like that. Wait a minute. I'm not like that. And so he came up to the room, we ordered all this food and we just ate. And that was the first time, we both were kind of like, oh, I think I kind of like you. So we think that that was our first date, though. It wasn't technically a first date. Well, clearly it was something. It was lovely, Jennifer. It was wonderful. That sounds like the perfect love story, and you have great friends through because you had an amazing bridal shower, and it was a beautiful surprise video. It was, I want to shout out to 7 ladies that did. It was Vanessa Bell Callway, Shanice Lazar, Kim Whitley, Leela, Rashawn, Sarah Jones, Rada Shepard, and N. Brown, Andy Brown. They threw this party for me and invited all my friends. And it was, I've never had a birthday party. Honest, hear this. I've never had a birthday party, home, housewarming, baby shower. Brighter. I never had any of that. This was the first time I was in a room with people celebrating me. It was beautiful. It was really, you deserve it. Thank you. I love that for you. Tell me, what is it like finding love at 50, you 50, 51, I'm 53. Now I found it at 5. I'm 53 and 50. You gotta look good. You're not good. Thank you, baby. You know what? I think it's important for everyone to wait until the one their heart loves. And I had met guys through the years, and it just like, oh, it's not him. And then Tony and I have been friends for 25 years, and he was married. So I never dreamed of him in that way. His marriage ended, and we became friends. And I was like, oh, this is the guy. Like, this is the one that my heart loves. He makes me laugh. So find the one that gives you peace. Find the one that if the worst thing happened to you, you'd want them holding your hand. It's not about their height. It's not about how much money they make. It's the peace they bring into your soul, tell it. So wait for that person, wait, bet you're preaching today. Come on now. You know, yes, I do. I know it's speaking to me, yes, ma'am. Let's talk about Wickeds. Everybody is waiting for this film. Congratulations. Again, thank you. The chemistry is incredible. You got Cynthia in it as well. Of course, Ari, I got to work with all of these guys now. You're the only one I haven't worked with yet, so I know what they're like, and I know Ari can be hilarious. So is she funny in the film? Like, what it like working with her? Yeah, she's I don't know, a comedy genius. She's so funny. I mean, she's amazing in this film. Everyone's amazing in this film. Cynthia and Ari bring depth to these roles that you can find on stage. Like the women who have played these roles on stage are incredible. But when you're doing a film, you're so close, I mean, the difference between when you're doing a role on stage and on film, and you've just gotta like think those thoughts, And they were so beautiful and nuanced and unbelievable. And Ari's hilarious. Yeah, I know she is, and this is amazing. What is your favorite thing about your wife? How much time do we have? Oh, okay. Now that she's still able to be my wife in the midst of all this, like I said, where's she leave the soup? And the other day we were both in DC, and we don't really get to see each other that much. So she came into my office. I heard all this shuffling around. She came in, just gave me this biggest hug, said, I love you. And I said, I love you. And then, okay, back on the road. So the fact that she still is present in our relationships and still present for the kids and her Nye and all that, it's really remarkable. I love that. Really, that's the best thing. Do you believe in love at first sight? Yeah, it happened to me, course. That's why I'm sitting here. Okay. Why I'm sitting here, it was life-changing. That line date, I picked her up, and it was like we were already talking about the future halfway through the date. And right after the first date, I sent her an email basically saying, here are my availabilities for the next several months. Look at you.